Alright, we're at the bottom of page 7, looking at slope-intercept form, rate of change from 2 points, and function notation. Question 1 asks, in slope-intercept form, write a linear function named f with a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of 0, 3. Essentially, it's just saying that your slope is -2, your y-intercept is 3. Since we know slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, can literally just plug in those values. Instead of writing y though, I'm going to write f of x, since that's function notation and it's proper, and it actually makes more sense. So f of x is equal to -2 times x plus 3. So here we have a y-intercept of 0, 3, and our slope is down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And we can graph this. There's our function. And it asks here to evaluate f of -7. Now you could go to -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, and go all the way up until you intercept this graph, or you can just plug in -7 for this function here. So f of -7 is equal to -2 times -7 plus 3. -2 times -7 is 14. And when you add 3, you find out that you get 17. Okay, so the point on the graph would be -7, 17. That would be a point on this graph, this function. In slope-intercept form, this is question 2. Write a linear function named w, so we can say w of x is equal to mx plus b. What's our slope here? M, which is our slope, is -4/5, and our y-intercept is 6. So we are writing -4 over 5 times x plus 6. Okay, we can graph that very easily. We all know how to do this by now. If you don't, you really need to come into tutoring. So there's our y-intercept, and we are going down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 5. 1, 2, 3. Down 4, to the right 5. Make sure you use a straight edge to connect these. That's good. And there's your function. It says evaluate w of -8. And again, this would be hard to go all the way to -8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go up and see where we intersect with our line. Instead, we can just use the function notation to solve. W of -8 is equal to -4/5 times our x value is -8. So look at how these are the same, these functions. What do we get? -4 times -8 divided by 5 plus 6. We get positive 32/5 plus 6. Now I'm going to write this in fifths so that I can add these two values. So 6 is the same as 30/5. Now I can add these and I will get 62/5. right, which looks like it's 12.4, if I got that right. Okay, so that is a point on the graph, -8, 12.4. If you went to this graph and you did go back 8 and you went up 12.5, you would have a point that is on this graph. Just like this is a point, this is a point, they're all on that graph. 2 points in a line are 4, 13, and 12, -1. Find the rate of change. So I'll do a quick little graph so you can see what's going on, get a general idea. 4, 13, 12, -1. We're just trying to find the rate of change. How many units down, how many units to the right. We know the rate of change is going to be negative because from left to right we're going downward. But we can do this algebraically instead of graphically. What we do is we take our y values. So 12 minus 4. I'm just subtracting the first one from the second one. Oh, those are x values. I screwed that up. Minus 13. There we go. And then we're going to look at how much it changes horizontally. So taking 12 and subtracting 4. We get -14 over 12 minus 4 is 8. And this reduces to -7/4. So just to ensure understanding, this is what's happening here. From this point, which is 4, 13, to this point here, which is 12, -1, we are going down 14 units, and we're going to the right 8 units. When I simplified this with the -7/4, I'm saying you could do down 7 over 4, down 7 over 4. It's the same thing, it's just reduced. So rate of change is just slope. Now let's try it without a graph because these are big numbers. Okay, here are 2 points. I'm going to take the y values and subtract them from each other. 260 minus 179. And in the same order, I got to start with my -17 and subtract -8. Right? You guys have seen this as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is the same thing as your rise over your run. This is slope. What do we get here? 260 minus 179 is 81. -17 minus -8 is -17 plus 8, which should give us -9. And if we reduce this, it reduces simply to -9. Right? Because if you divide the top by 9, you get 9. If you divide the bottom by 9, you get -1. 9 divided by -1 is just -9.